Before I even got to bed, I just thought, I cannot stand the kitchen in my condo anymore. I cannot believe I'm doing this. I'm vlogging? Who am I? So I woke up, I think 2 days ago now. Before I even got to bed, I just thought, I cannot stand the kitchen in my condo anymore. It's a reno project and I've been wanting to save money for the full reno, but the reality is it's gonna be years before that happens, at least 2 or 3. So I'm gonna do a mini half reno. It's not gonna be a waste of money because I have to live in it for a few more years. It's so dark, it's so dingy. I'm embarrassed to have people over. So I started researching, I went wild. My mom's coming next week. I'm gonna show you around the kitchen and probably get started on a few of the projects so that my mom and I can get started right away when she gets here. So a quick recap, I bought my condo a few years ago and I've been able to do quite a few projects, but as a teacher, it takes a while to save up to do some of these bigger projects. My condo was hoarded. There was a single elderly lady who lived here and couldn't take care of herself or the condo. And because it was a hoarded situation in a really awful economy, I was still able to get it at a pretty good price, knowing I was gonna have to do renos. So far, I've redone the flooring throughout, baseboards throughout. I've gotten all new windows, a whole new patio. I redid lots of landscaping, a lot of things that add up, a lot of sweat equity, but I have not touched this kitchen, which is straight from the 70s when my condo was made. It's so dark, it's so dingy. Let me show you around. So right when I walk in the door, I have this large window here, which you would think would let in a lot of light, but there's a huge tree outside, and so it's still pretty dim. These walls used to have wallpaper on them. I took it down, but the paste is still up. So those look pretty dingy, but this is really the problem. I had to get a new refrigerator right away. And the dishwasher used to be here, but it was broken, so I took that out before I put my flooring down. And right now I just have a curtain on it, and I put my recycles under there, etc. But this is the super dark, dingy kitchen. Without this tape, this cupboard will slowly just whoop, you smack your head on it. So got that taped up. The inlay on this, I didn't want to paint them originally because I just felt like it was still going to look ugly. I mean, what a useless handle. Everybody opens cupboards from the corner when the handle's in the dead middle of the door. It's just, stove is original, but it works, so you know, it's fine for now. This, the dishwasher comes out, and then you have to stand over here and reach over to get things out of the sink to put in it. It just doesn't work. Started my kitchen half reno list with everything in the order I think I need to do it, things I need to purchase here, and I think I can get started with taking off the handles and filling the holes. There's not very much space on this countertop for me to move around. see, take off handles, fill the holes. Next thing is cleaning the cabinets, but I'm gonna do that once the paint actually gets here and we're ready to start. I just got home and the green paint is here. I'm dying to see the color. It's nighttime. My kitchen light's kind of yellow, you can see. So it's not gonna be fully accurate, but it says you don't need to shake it, I read, but everybody else is saying that you do need to see it or shake it. It's hard to see. You can't see in this lighting. I haven't prepped the cabinets, but I'm just gonna do like a little inch area so I can see tomorrow when the sun comes up what it looks like. This is how it was applying, and this is after I shook it for much, much longer. Definitely thinner paint, but also needs to be shaken way more than the green. You can tell it's a different formula. I've been so exhausted today. I just can't make myself do anything. And turns out I have 100-degree fever, so I can just tell. It's like, it's just a Hashi's flare, like I can feel it. I wanted to get more done in here, but I just painted. There's like a faux brick right there that's just cream, so I'm just painting it white. Okay, I'm gonna go take a cold shower, go to bed. This just isn't it. The bird's like the size of my hand, and it made it seem like it was gonna be about this big. No, I just can't do Mariah Carey backsplash. I have to return it. All right, let's see. What do we have going on this week? I'm gonna pick up my mom, bring her back here to the city, and we're gonna start Kitchen Palooza. So mom is officially here, and we are at the it's getting a lot worse before it gets better stage. Got all the doors off the bottom. Mom's painting those now. I'm gonna start taking these doors off the top so we can do the doors separate. Of course, we've got a mess in the living room. It's just a mess everywhere, but that's the nature of these projects, I suppose. Let me tell you what a nightmare this wallpaper paste was. I found that removing spray at Home Depot, and it was the only thing that worked. I tried other concoctions I saw online, and none of them worked. Also, having a larger putty knife to scrape really kept down how much you were accidentally digging into your wall, because you had to put a lot of pressure. The smaller spackle knife my mom was working kind of ended up digging into the wall, so I suggest spraying it, letting it set for just the right amount of time, and then scraping hard. At this point in the project, honey, we was woe out. We went to the pool. We deserved a little pick-me-up. The paint you see us using here is a paint called Beyond Paint, and it's supposed to be used for cabinets and other wood type things where you don't have to sand or anything. All I really had to do was clean super well with the simple green is what they suggested. And wow, I'm editing this video months later. I have to say there are no chips. I am so thankful I did not have to sand and prime. It saved me so much time. We headed out for a little lunch because obviously the kitchen was in disarray. We ran to Joann's. The Joann's by me is huge. We looked for some fabric. I ended up finding this kind of shabby chic with the piece of paper I painted with the same color as my cabinet so I could choose it. And Mom's gonna sew that up later in the video. Here I'm prepping the counters to put the vinyl paper down. Wow, okay, so I used simple green, but I was just nervous, so I went and got pure acetone and did it again. And then Mom and I started. Let me tell you what, if you do not have a strong marriage, this will land you directly in divorce, okay? You want to pull it taut, but I also felt like it was slightly stretching the vinyl. Here, Mom and I were just trying to figure out how on earth we were going to engineer going around the sink. I had watched a few other videos, but none of them were just working for me mentally. Wow, I also felt like it stuck so well that trying to peel it up to reposition it felt impossible. But I will say it is sticky. It is sticky. I am editing this, like I said, months later, and it has not started to come up at all. Being beached on the counter underneath the cupboard to try to cut around the sink, also, I was about to crash out, okay? I was near going ballistic. I wanted to light a match and just be done with my whole condo. I was like, you know what? This is not worth it. If you're from State Farm, that's a joke, but you get what I'm saying. It was so difficult, you guys. I'm not trying to discourage you from it because I loved the final product, but it took a lot. Really, around the corners, I just treated it like you would wrapping a present. You can see here, I'm slowly trimming away at things. And then eventually I got my hair dryer to blow dry it. The heat really helped seal it down into a nice finished corner. I was so relieved when it was time to start working on the backsplash. I just used contact paper. I wanted a cheaper solution, and the faux tiles that I priced out were ridiculous. And this is just a temporary fix for me, so I went with contact paper. As you saw earlier in the video, the first contact paper I ordered and came was not whimsical. It was like, I thought it looked horrible. It was way distracting in my opinion. This was so much easier to reposition than the countertop. Holy cow, it felt like butter compared to what we had been doing. The only problem is, well, you'll see. So this is all I have left, and these are vertical pieces, horizontal pieces. And this is how much I have left. So I think I'm going to put a horizontal piece vertically, and then I'm going to take from the scraps I have and cut out like the leaves that match and kind of go over it, and a little bit of the flower, just kind of like camouflage on top of it. And there's going to be a lamp here, so I'm not too worried, but it's annoying because this wouldn't have happened. I would have had enough vertical if it wasn't for them sending me a roll that had another roll printed on top. Like I would have had enough with this piece, but I had to scrap. At this point in the project, I was starting to realize there was a lot of color and heaviness on the bottom, but not at the top. So I did what any recovering hillbilly would do and used a basket to make a light shade. Yep, just sawed the bottom right off, like it's a normal thing to do. Honestly though, you cannot tell me that does not look like it's from Anthropology. It does. So I just used trim tacks and tacked it right up to the ceiling. I mean, that looks good if you ask me. I'm happy with it. I also decided to use Rub and Buff on my vent hood to kind of give it like a copper gold warmth to it, because like I said, I just needed more warmth in the space. Everything else was very cool based. So I started rubbing it on. Mom helped me. You'll see how it goes. Good morning. Okay, I took several days off from the kitchen. I needed a break. And after my mom left, I just took a break. Okay, so this is the only thing that I have left to finish before I can start putting things out, which is the exciting part. So where we left off, I had swirled my finger on here, and there's kind of some spots where it like built up a little bit, but to be expected, it's fine. I got this cheap pack of brushes from Michael's. It was like $5-6, and these are extremely hard, like very hard. I wish I could. That's how hard it is. So anyway, I'm just gonna use this to kind of brush off the like chunks that will come off, and then I'm gonna use my sanding block like, I already tried it in one spot. You hardly have to touch it and it takes the chunks right off. So I don't mind if there's some texture, but I'm gonna try to get the big chunks off. And then we'll go from there. And let's wrap this kitchen up. I'm getting tired of this. I went and got more Rub and Buff, and this is proof that you really are supposed to apply it with your finger. The thing is that you normally put it on something that's already painted, so putting it on this smooth surface, I kind of had to like glob it on to get it, but once it dries, then I have a surface to put a second layer on. So, I mean, is it ideal? No, but progress is better than perfect, and I'm just trying to make this kitchen a little more livable, so it's fine with me. Here we go. I don't know what I'm doing, people. I'm just making this up. I don't know. I don't know. Does anybody though? Like, honestly, I don't think so. I think people just lie and act like they know. You don't know. None of us do. Also, I live alone. Who's gonna be in this kitchen talking smack about it? Nobody. And if they are, they don't need to come back. And that's not owning your own house. Why did I pick a whole kitchen remodel for one of my first vlogs? I've been watching how you edit these things. I picked a real doozy to start with. That's very on brand for me. Doing entirely too much and acting like it's normal. Like, yeah, that's fine. That's not a big deal. That's not hard. What? This is called stop being lazy and try. I don't know. Okay. I don't hate that. Okay. That's gonna have to be good enough for who it's for, which is me and Jesus. Okay, so here's where we are. Cabinets are painted, contact papers on the backsplash and the countertops. I got the hardware put on. I got that put up. It looks sterile right now, but it's gonna get better. I love these final little touches. They're always the thing that brings it all together and takes it into something cozy and something personal, like this box that was my grandma's recipe box. I love seeing her handwriting. I also was able to include a little picture of her, and that lamp in the corner just makes the space inviting. Lighting changes everything. Of rug you can find on Amazon. I'll try to link it and everything else below, but I just had to come to say I love this brand of rug. I think I have it in 2 different colorways. I've got it in my living room, I have it in my bedroom, I have it in my kitchen. It's just rustic and charming and brings in so many colors and warmth to your space. Definitely, if you have a style even remotely similar to mine, check them out. Again, with the syrups, I just had to add some warm colors because I hated that it was getting so cold in my kitchen. This far, thank you. I am happy. It's definitely not perfect, but it feels like I can function now until I can save up for my real big girl kitchen. I could not have done this without my mom, and we'll see how it holds up. I don't know yet if it's gonna hold up or not, but this is so much more doable. So I picked a real doozy for my second video because this is a lot to edit. Hopefully I can make it a little bit more concise. It's not perfect, but it's progress, so I'll take it. See you next week.